Hey there and happy Wednesday. So some of you were super excited about last week for Kay's party when I did that grassy grove card with the deer, kind of the silhouette with the pretty paper. So if you liked that card, you'll probably like today's. Hello, Patricia from Switzerland. She says she stalks me from Switzerland. I don't believe it. I'm just always thrilled that our time zones match up so that she can watch live from over there. Hello, Joyce. And so today I'm bringing you more of that pretty paper, and I'm going to show pretty much almost all of the products from the New Horizons suite. And so I love it. For my nature lovers, this is you. For those that like kind of quick and easy, that make it look like you did even more, this is perfect for you too. Good afternoon, Brenda. Hello, Shelly and Sharon too. So here is today's card. It's card number 2 for my set of 10 for February. And I'm super excited to make this card if you can't tell. And I love working with Blackberry Bliss. Anytime I pull out Blackberry Bliss from my stack of cardstock, I always just know that I'm gonna enjoy my project too. Just certain colors just are more fun to work with for me. I'm sure we've all got favorites, and you guys know I love blue, but Blackberry Bliss is so rich that it's always a good one. Yes, Joyce, I feel pretty much 100%, and I'm glad. So fun fact of today, for those of you that have been following my husband's health journey, that took up most, it seems like took up most of our 2021. It almost seems strange that, like, I had major wrist surgery from tearing a major tendon. My son tore a major tendon in his knee, and yet my husband topped us all. But yesterday, so this is my fun fact, yesterday I had to get ready for some tax numbers and such, and our medical miles, I was adding those up. It took me a lot longer than I thought. It was close to 7,500 miles that we put on for our medical trips between the three of us. And so it put into perspective that we spent a lot of time in the car. And I was also very grateful for those times that we could do telehealth visits, which were quite a few of those too. So yeah, no wonder our new to us vehicle got a lot of miles, because 7,500 just for medical appointments was a lot in a short amount of time. So hopefully that's behind us, but that's my fun fact of the day. So if I have an extra black line under my eyes, it's because I stayed up too long using my calculator to figure all of that out with my calendar. So let me get started on today's card. I'm just going to see if my iPad is here so that if you guys have any questions, then you can ask away and I will answer, hopefully. So I've got this going here, and let me get the camera so that those that are joining, just like Connie here, then we can see. Connie's asking if there's any other fences and Stampin' Up. What comes to mind, like, I'm not going to stop and look through the whole catalog in the middle of my video, but what comes to mind is the Hey Birthday Chick or the Hey Chick. I'm not sure, which dies are current or not, but there was 2 sets of dies that went with the Chick products, and one of them had a fence, put it that way. So that's what comes to mind. I know that there's other fences, but I'm going to show you this fence. I'm going to go with that today. How's that? Okay, so here's today's card with just the pretty paper doing the majority of the work, which is always fun when we can let something do more work than what we do. And where the New Horizons suite of products is coming from is the mini catalog. And it's on pages 42 and 43. So, like, if this doesn't catch your eye and go, ooh, wow, like right away, yeah, it does for me anyway, but that's just me. And so today, like I said, I'm going with Blackberry Bliss, but it was hard to kind of go away from this one when you see the blues there, and if you know how much I love my blue. And there's just so many things that you can do with it. Like, for instance, this piece right here, I just like to highlight this one because you can stamp it, you can die cut it, and it's used as a focal point. It's used as a background. Like here, they kind of have added it and made it almost look like water. I'm going to stamp on it and make a sentiment just for the inside of my card, but just kind of fun. Hey there, June. Hi, Donna. So good to have so many of you on for an early afternoon. So yes, On the Horizon has some great sentiments too. I mean, we always are looking for thinking of you. So anytime I see that included as a sentiment in a stamp set, it always makes me super excited. What I like about the relax and enjoy your day, sometimes I think for a guy card, and this I was hoping would fall into that category as being a guy card. This could work so well for guys because I think it's just like they need to be told that they can relax. Because I know my husband's a hard worker and doesn't relax often enough, and so that could be good for like birthday, Father's Day, retirement, things like that. And so the breathe is always nice when it comes to this type of landscape and such too. So just some really good images there. And then the dies, I'll show you in a little bit. The pebbles. The pebbles have been super popular. They're unavailable right now, but just know that they're not sold out. They're coming back in. The expected arrival date to come back in for the pebbles enamel shapes is March 14th. Yes, March 14th. And I like to let you know that because if somebody is going, oh, I want to order these, and yet with celebration, that might make a difference if you qualify, you know, for hitting a $50, $100 level by adding those to your order or not. So I like to let you know that. And I also like to let you know that, yes, they are coming back in. So that's always good. Hi there, Julie. And then let's see what else. Oh, the paper. Okay, yeah, this is all that paper. I kind of went through it in my last video, so I don't want to, you know, totally go over that again. Hi there, Deb. Good afternoon to you too. So, what I was doing, knowing I wanted to do Blackberry Bliss, was try to kind of pull out colors that would look good inside the circle. So I was just kind of like, yeah, some of these would be really, really well suited, and yet if some weren't perfect, then it's like, I don't want to waste them because they're going to be perfect for something else. And I always have to keep in mind that the front and the back sides might be perfect for this too. Hello there, Melinda. Okay, so this is what I came up with, was this one. And I kind of had something in mind for this, and maybe after I cut off just the top, I might still be able to use this for something else too. But I also today kind of wanted to start from the beginning of how I made the card, because when we have paper that is 6 by 6, I know some of you say, oh, I love 6 by 6. I prefer myself 12 by 12, but when there's 6 by 6, then I always like try and give hints of how things can work out, so you have like the most bang for your buck too, not only financially for the investment in the paper, but just for the paper itself. Like, nobody likes tons of scraps, and people like to be efficient with their paper, so I want to help out with that a little bit today. Hello there, Lois. Okay, so before I get started, I'm just going to take one of these 6 by 6 here, and I'm going to cut at 3 inches. And then this is going to be that piece that I said probably will show up in a different project later, so that just gets set aside for that day. And then this, I'm going to cut again in 3. So for sure we'll have 2 3 by 3 squares out of the 6 by 6 to work with. And I don't feel at all like, wow, she only got 2 cards out of that, because I feel like that blue is going to show up, especially when you know how much I like blue. So Patricia's asking how my grandson's doing. He was here yesterday. Just, you know, sometimes he has a daddy and Weston Day, and yesterday was a daddy and Weston Day, but then he shows up at grandma's house and becomes grandma and Weston Day. Like, who could complain about that? I'm going to spend the evening with him. He's doing great. He is like such a little like, he's beyond his years. He's an old soul, and he's such a smarty pants. Like, the stuff that he knows is just like, I know everybody brags about their grandkids, but put it this way, he's a really smart kid. So we all kind of like challenging him because he's really smart about stuff, and it's kind of fun to have that. Thanks, Patricia. So yes, he probably will be appearing. Yesterday when he was with me, I said, do you want to be in my video? And he was like, no. He was playing pretty hard, towing another vehicle with one of his toys and such. So he gets pretty busy sometimes, and other times he might just want to join in. I love it. So what I want to start with when I do this card is the Bark 3D embossing folder. This is from the annual catalog. It also comes from that nature set, Beauty of the Earth. And it just, those kind of products can just kind of go back and forth between each other, and especially like this 3D embossing folder. And I want this to kind of look like not really waves, but kind of, so I want the waves to go this way versus this way across my paper because my card's going up and down. And that's why I love 6x6 embossing folders, for that reason. So I'm just going to put it in this way because we have the option. Then I get to choose what I want. And because it's 3D, then I'm using the thick plate here. And then I put the embossing folder in with my cardstock, and I should put it this way so you can see the number, plate number 4. So those are the only things needed for the 3D embossing folders. And a lot of people ask this, like, does this plate come with it when you buy the whole machine? It does. So the great thing for people that are buying the machine, I think I have more people once again looking because it's celebration. I feel like sales are always up a little bit more for the bigger tools and products and just orders in general when it's celebration. So this comes with it, you know, all the cutting pads, obviously not your dies and folders, but everything with the machine. Like, you can open it up out of the box and it's ready to go right away. Oops. Let me just leave this here because the next step I'm going to do, I'm going to take this out and then pull out my layering circles. And I could have, I mean, there's really no reason why I couldn't have cut my circle out first and then embossed it. But I thought, how fun when this is done to have, you know, especially because I make up quite a few of these cards to send out to everyone that orders it and such. Hello there, Janet, I miss you. So I'm going to have a bunch of these circles, and I think in my mind, do I want circles? Because it's either going to have to be cut before or after. Do I want circles that have texture to them or circles that are just plain? I chose to have texture because, like I said, I could have cut it before or after. It makes really no difference. So I thought, let's do after. So to run this through, then I add cutting plates number 2, which is kind of that shim, and then the 2 like clear cutting plates like here, which is number 3. Oh, and I have this here. So what I'm using is the layering circles. Like I said, mine's an older set, still the same as what's in the catalog, but what's in the catalog will be will say layering circles dies, not the framelits. Same thing. So that's what I'm using here. And it's just kind of about the same size as that 3x3 of the pretty paper that I cut out. So we have this right here. And then I think because I have my machine set out, I'm just going to kind of keep cutting all my die cuts so that way you guys don't have to see back and forth, and then it'll just be ready to assemble. So now comes the fun dies. I mean, to me, it's kind of like dessert versus the regular meal. The circles are the regular meal. Now is the dessert. And so these are the Horizons dies, and all sorts of fun. Like, we've got mountain scenes, and this is kind of for that shiplap sign. And then I've got some like trees and some little huts that can be like on the beach or waterfront. There's actually 2 fence here, so I'm using one. This is the other one. And then just some landscape things there too. Hello there, Tori. So the 2 that I'm using today, like I said, is one of the fence, and then just some like seagrass here. And I can probably put those through at the same time. So knowing that my seagrass is going like this, I just saved this little scrap. I'm sure everybody has a little scrap. And I thought, because it kind of goes up and then down on one end, it's gonna leave exactly enough room to fit the same die in the opposite space. So I have that there. And then this fence will just go right there. So I have soft succulent for my ink, or excuse me, my cardstock color, and basic gray. So my seagrass is done in soft succulent here, and my fence is going to be done in the basic gray. And I'll try to remember, sometimes, you know, I have the best intentions, but I like to also show you, hey, this didn't make the cut. So this is my 3rd fence color today. and I'll show you that white wasn't my favorite and crumb cake wasn't my favorite. And like I always say to you guys, it might be your favorite, and that's okay too. So now I think we're all done die cutting, and I can set that aside here. Okay, oops. Love this take your pick tool. I kind of almost forget that in this grass there's little pieces that might need to be poked out. Okay, there we have that. So yes, Tori, Tori, you're on quite an adventure. You're probably seeing stuff like this live, like this kind of scenery. So this is the one that I'm going to use here, but I'm also gonna stamp on the second one so you can kind of see what that looks like as well. But I want to get out just some scratch paper in case my stamping goes over the edge. I want to kind of put that card there so people can see what I'm making. So I'm going to open up my Blackberry Bliss ink pad here, and the trees, just, you know, a little tiny cluster of trees with like just a little bit of shoreline almost like underneath there. It could be used as a silhouette, or even used with markers to make that look like sand and tree trunks, and then the trees in a green to be like 3 separate colors. And then it can be like for different season too. But this, I kind of just want to tie in more of that Blackberry Bliss, and then just make it kind of like a silhouette. So I'm going to ink that up and then just bring that over, and I'm going to kind of have to eye it because it's not photopolymer, and it kind of just went off a little bit. Not the biggest deal. I could have scooted it up a little bit, but it's not going to be, it's kind of more for a background, not a focal point. And then look how fun this looks to have that stamped. It just kind of makes the image come to life. So this is more subtle and that's more prominent, like so, and both are fine. Hi Pam, thanks for joining in. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside here. And now to assemble the card, I have my Blackberry Bliss. So it's going to be Blackberry Bliss on Blackberry Bliss. So it's folded this way for today's card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And Pam says, I just ordered that paper. I'm so excited to use it. You will love this paper. Or maybe, nope, I bet she means this paper. Yes, you will love this paper too. I could see you using this paper and loving it, that color. Thank you, Missy. Okay, so we have that dimension. And then this, if I haven't mentioned, is 4 by 5 1/4, so just a little bit less. And before I tack this on to the card base, I'm just going to take my seal adhesive and go around this circle. It's easier to do this kind of behind the scenes than try and go, okay, where is this going to catch and then not show. So, oh, Pam ordered both. Well, there you go. Now you're set. Now you can just copy away on for today's card. Yeah. Okay, so then when I set that on top like so, whoops, stuck a little bit because this is a really tight fit in some spots. So some of the adhesive will be, you know, out and about like that, but at least I know I have this covered really well. So it's going to stick where it needs to, but then I'm just going to go and add more adhesive along the edges so that I can stick it now to my card base like so. And you can see that the card's already coming together quite easily now too. Let me get rid of this because I feel like sometimes that distracts if I don't need it. And then this, both of these I could have just ran through with the adhesive sheets. It's one more step to put on, and sometimes that one step of putting the adhesive sheets on the cardstock before I run through is so worth it. But today I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take a couple glue dots here and here because they're really going to get covered up anyway by the seagrass. So if I do that and just kind of set that here, but before I set it down, you can see that the gray just kind of blends in well, and I thought it was a better choice. This was like a pretty decent choice, but just in comparison, I felt like this color just kind of blended more instead of like where's the focal point and what's happening. And the white it's just, it makes such a pretty fence. Whoops, let's get the right side kind of. But I just thought it was like too white for this type of scenery that I had going. So hi there, Audrey. Okay, so that's why I chose the basic gray here. And so that I'm just going to kind of lay down here. Like I said, if you see the glue dots, it's okay because we're still going to add some glue dots onto the seagrass here in a couple spots, and that's going to cover up the original glue dots there. And if like the glue dots hang over the edge, I just kind of push them back. And this I don't want all the way to the end. I don't want that long shaggy piece there. So now this is going to go over the fence. Kind of want the two to kind of come together so that the fence doesn't look like it's going down too much and the grass doesn't look like it's going up too much. I just want it to kind of go up to that circle. So there, perfect. There we have just a little bit of a wildlife scene there in front of that. And then both of these colors I feel like tie in. Soft Succulent was listed in the New Horizons paper pack, so I always feel confident that that's always a good choice. That's usually how I get my inspiration because it's really easy, and if they say it's true, it must be right. Hi there, Diane. And then for my embellishment, I'm going to add that right away, and that is the Pebbles Enamel Shape. And I'm just going to take the lighter, this is probably more of the smoky slate here. Whoops, piece here. I shoved it right to the place where it's stuck. Okay, let's get my tool here and get that finagled. So I'm just going to kind of stair step these little pebbles here. And this one looks more like maybe a smoky slate color. Oh my goodness, guys. Usually you can just pick those up really easy. Okay, so I'm just going to do that, kind of at an angle as well. I'm going to get my, maybe I just need a little bit more putty. I bet that'll be it. And then I'm going to grab another pebble here. You can see like smoky slate basic gray, maybe like a crumb cake would be my choices for what these colors are. There we go. That one came off really well. I'm just going to put that on like so, and it just makes all of that look pretty natural there. Actually, I want the stone to go down a little bit more. It kind of looks weird. All right. I mean, when you can choose to place your rocks, that's always great. Come spring, when I help rock pick, the rocks are just everywhere and they're not as cute and pretty, right? Oh, thanks, June. Yes, hopefully you can catch me. I might be in and out tonight, but otherwise tomorrow afternoon's a good time to try and catch me too. So that's good. Now to remind everybody, in case you didn't see the beginning of the video, these Pebbles Enamel Shapes aren't available now, but the expected arrival date for these is March 14th. And hopefully that stays true since I said that. And then this is just a strip, like a 3/4 inch strip of smoky slate. And I'm going to take that same Blackberry Bliss here and get our sentiment inked up, wishing you so much happiness. Just gonna see if that turned out straight, and it did that way. And then this, I'm just gonna give a little bit closer trim here, like that. And I want to just kind of butt it up against the edge of the card. And so I'm just going to kind of eye that like so. I thought about popping it up, but I kind of liked how it laid flat in comparison to this, and having this still kind of draw more attention than popping this up. There again, if you like yours popped up, that's totally fine too. So I'm just going to put a little extra adhesive on there because of that 3D bark texture there, so that it sticks really well. Okay, I'm just going to tap that down. So there we have the front of the card all done. And after adding like the sentiment, the fence, the seagrass, the pebbles, all of that kind of stuff, then it's really fun. And you can hardly see that stamping that I did there with the trees, but I think if I would have left it without the trees, I mean, it still would have been pretty, but I think it adds something without being too much. And Connie's asking if the DSP is still available. Yes, it is. So usually if things are available, I don't say anything. It's when they're not available. I try to draw attention, but things can change. So that's just what I know as far as the pebbles. The other faux sea glass shapes, which are kind of like this, but a little different. They're new in the mini catalog. Those are also sold out now till like April 4th. So that's another thing in case you're thinking, well, maybe I'll sub. That is sold out, but I'm not using that today. So I didn't want to confuse people by hardly even mentioning it either. So next is just finishing the card with the inside. So I have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white there. Oh, thank you, Melinda. Yes, I am such a fan of the Blackberry Bliss. And like I said, certain names just come to mind because I know that that's their favorite color too, some of my stamping friends. So this fun kind of shiplap pattern or, you know, design, just kind of random. I'm going to ink that up in smoky slate and just kind of press, you know, not super dark, but firm. And then just let that dry a little bit. And that's going to be kind of just a background for the inside sentiment. And that's also from that same, this is from the same stamp set. All the stamps today are from the same stamp set. Sometimes I kind of mix and match as well as the Relax. So it's all from the On the Horizon stamp set. And what's nice about the smoky slate is that this ink here can be inked on top of the smoky slate. The Blackberry Bliss shows up really well, so it's kind of a nice subtle little addition. And then even for this to be able to stamp the Blackberry Bliss on the smoky slate cardstock, it still shows up so well, which is great. And then this is just ready to be tacked down for the inside of the card, and just like that we have a card all done. Like so. Let me do that. So this is card number 2 out of my February set of 10 for you guys for my February virtual stamp camp. So I've got that all done for you guys right there. And then the inside, Relax. So if you didn't see the very beginning, like I said, this could be great for a guy's birthday card, well, or a gal. But sometimes we just need those extra, like, what do we do for guy cards that don't add too much ribbon or flowers or, you know, foo-foo stuff. But I think this would be a great guy card. So it could be birthday, retirement, Father's Day, things like that. So hopefully that'll give you some inspiration and ideas. So let me get this turned around here. And yeah, so how you can get my set of 10 cards is do like June does. She's going to call in order soon. And so she'll probably say, I want your 10 cards, or maybe she'll surprise me and say, you know what, I'm just going to give you another host code or something for one of the 3 hostesses I have going on this month too. So either is fine. And so just let me know when you contact, let me know like where you want your order credited to. That helps me. You guys are usually really good about that. And so a $75 minimum order will get you the 10 cards that I make for free. Or if you just want the set of 10 cards, you can contact me and say, hey, I want your set of 10 cards this month. I'm only on card number 2, so there's going to be 8 other different cards yet to choose from. That you'll get 2 that I need to choose from, narrow down, because I've got a lot of ideas. So to think I only have 8 more before the month is done is kind of fun, scary. No, so that is how you can do that. And if you're ordering just the cards, it's $25 for the set of 10. That includes the shipping, unless you're local, and then I can get those to you. So thanks, June, and hi, Amy, and hi, Carol. So have a good evening, guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon with card number 3. Take care. Bye-bye.